Hi guys, I'm not feeling very well today, so I will just be doing a very quick tutorial on how to work with mocap animations and adding start and stop animations for better fidelity of entire animation graph. So few changes to the previous setup. I've tested different variables for this entire movement blend space to get least foot sliding as possible, and I managed to find velocity between 200 and 320 to be the best, and interpolation times between 0.1 and 0.2, which is fine, and the blend weight something around 4. However, you can even lower that and increase the blend weight of the overlay animations. So let's just save that. We can go back here, go into our pistol lowered blend space, and this is our overlay. Here we can change interpolation weight to, let's say, 8, so double the strength of the base one. Just save it. We don't have to change much. We can change the velocity as well to 200 to 320.2. Everything is fine. Okay, so now for the start and stop blend spaces. I've prepared 2 blend spaces, I guess. Yeah, so the start blend space, it looks like this. It's just a 1D blend space that got just the walk starts, doesn't have any run start animations in all directions. The interpolation time is 0 because this is direction interpolation, and the weight is 8, so it's higher than our movement blend space. Now let's go back here and check our simple stop. So simple stop also has only direction. Interpolation time is 0 and blend weight is 8. And from the left foot, right foot animations that I had to pick for each direction, I picked the animation that is shorter and requires less movement. So the one that looks better when you're just stopping in place. This one is particularly good, and the back one as well, because you got both feet planted almost at the same time. But the right one is fine as well. Left one is a bit awkward. I had a problem with the left one, but we're gonna see how it works. So let's set it up. We're not changing anything inside the blueprint itself. So what we have to do is go into our AGR examples, blueprints, anim BP, and we need to find Pistol Pro Base. And inside Pistol Pro Base, we're not touching crouching for now. We're just going into standing, and we need to add start and stop here. So let's first of all do a state. Let's add the state and call it start moving. And inside here we'll do blend space start. So this one. And the direction is direction. And start is only walking start, which means that we're gonna have to, first of all, not loop this animation. And our play rate needs to be changing. So we'll take velocity and we'll divide it by a certain value that we feel is correct for no foot sliding, and it will be something around, I don't know, it can be different values. Let's try 120. Okay, let's move on. So we got this start stop, and we are start moving. So we're doing when is idle is not true, so when we are entering locomotion. And because this animation, it only plays one, it's not looping animation, we can actually read a value of when this animation is stopping. So we can do something like ratio, I guess. Oh yeah. So Pistol Pro start blend space, current time ratio and time remaining ratio. So we can read, for example, current time ratio, which is between 1 and 0, and say that if the playtime is above 0.9, or our velocity is above our walking velocity, so 200, then enter moving immediately. So this will be this, and let's make sure that both those blends are inertialization. Now let's change those blend durations. So we want start to moving to blend more fluently. So let's say 0.3 should be fine. And idle to start should also be more fluent. So let's say 0.25. And now, because turn in place is changing into moving as well on the same basis, so not idle, we'll delete this and do this. And just do is idle not. So from wherever we start idle or turn in place, if we have any velocity and we enter movement, we have to go through this node. And when our animation plays almost completely once, we go into this node and move here. Okay, and so now this, not idle, is irrelevant. We got this, and let's test it. Let's say to play standalone, one client, and play. And let's see. Okay, and now we can see that we are in idle, we are in turn in place, and we are start moving and moving. So let's see. Start moving, it doesn't seem to have foot sliding. Let's stand next to something. Oh, it has small foot sliding, so we can adjust that as well. So the start moving starts with velocity of 0. Our acceleration of the character is quite big, so we can skip few first frames of the animation, but setting the start position to be, for example, 0.2. So we'll start at 20% and we'll blend in into those 20% when starting. So let's see it now. Okay, so the animation takes less time than the entire start moving, and we see a lot less foot sliding. However, we can also freeze in this state because we haven't defined what happens, what we should do a return. So if we are start moving and we don't go into moving state, so we are idle, it goes here. Also, start moving should always reset playtime when initiated, so that's fine. So this is idle. Okay. Okay, both transitions work well. So now let's do stop animations, which are a lot harder. Usually when you do a stop animation, you have different stops for different velocity, and then you also have different stop animation for left and right foot. However, we made a single blend space when we switch foot from left to right, depending on our angle, for the animation to be as short as possible, and that's what we're going to implement here right now. So let's do a stop moving state. There it is, and we'll feed in direction, and we're not looping, we are resetting playtime, or are we? No, we're not resetting playtime because we can very quickly jump between moving and stopping, which we'll be do in a second to just showcase, but let's take it for now and I will show what I mean. And let's go here. So instead of going right here is idle, we're now going here. So here is idle, And here we have to do pretty much the same thing as we did here. So saying that get instance or velocity. However, we're not doing velocity, we're just doing this. So get ratio get current oh, okay, we have to do the animation to be resetting, not, and it can be looping, no resetting to be able to read that value. So let's now get ratio, get transfer complete, no. Oh, there it is. Asset player, so stop moving, get relevant anim time, get anim time fraction. Okay, so this one, if anim time fraction is higher than 0.9, then enter this transition. Okay, and now instead of going here is idle. If we are idle, then we're going into stop. Okay, and now let's make sure that all of those are inertialization, and let's fix some of those times. So here we have 0.25, here we got 0.3. We should have mirrored values on the opposite side. So here we're making 0.3 as well, and here we'll be doing 0.25. And this one is same as this one, so it should be 0.25. So those three have the same values, and those two have the same values, and that makes more fluent animations. Let's test it. Okay, so start, let's see, stop, idle, start, walking, stop, walking, stop. Now stop animations will look better if we have proper foot up. If we don't, like this looks very good, but this doesn't, unfortunately. Let's check left. Okay, so left also depending on the foot, right? Right looks pretty well, and back looks very good. Okay. Okay, so this transition also should be two ways. So is idle. This is just the animation time. So if we are not idle, we're transmitting here. I guess is idle not. And this allows us to jump between those animations until one of them triggers their animation time to go to a different state. So let's test this theory. Okay, that's not very good. So instead of going here, not idle will be going into moving. Is idle not, and it should have the same transition as here. No, it should have same as here. Okay, so it is the same 0.25, and it will be inertialization, of course. Okay, let's test it now. What if I make a rapid input? I will go between stop and walking, which is fine. And only when I stop completely I will do the start again, but I will do always stop. Okay, so that looks pretty okay already. and the values are not so bad. I could maybe change, well, start moving starts at 0.2 and stop moving starts at 0. What if we change it to 0.2 as well? Maybe it will look a bit better. Let's see. Oh yeah, a lot more responsive. Okay, so let's now test it if it works on multiplayer, because all variables are replicated that we are using. It should work on multiplayer, but I'm not exactly sure. So let's take dedicated server to clients and just test it. Okay, let's move this guy around. Stop animation, stop animation, stop animation, stop animation, and I can say that stop backward and stop forward definitely looks the best. Start animations have small foot sliding issues. So I am moving faster than the animation anticipates. So if I lower the division number in our blueprint, that should help. So instead of 120, let's make it 100. And let's see how it works out. Okay. I would say it would be a value somewhere in the middle to look pretty good. So let's put it at 110. And let's change one more thing, because the stopping animations, I don't really like them. Let's go back in. So one more thing I would change to make it look even better is a very simplified stop, because I'm not happy with all of those stop animation. Like left stop animation never looks right, because you can see that it clearly should have motion that it doesn't. Right stop looks great, and stops on 45-degree angles, so blended stops, they don't look good at all. So instead of all that, we'll be doing a very small cheat. So we'll just do a play pistol stop, and I think it will be backward walk, and now left up, right up. Which one was it? Okay, let's try both of those. Right one. Let's test it. Okay, and let's do a play pistol stop left up, but this one was backward. And make it in place. Okay, so this one, let's see. Oh no, terrible. No. So let's make this one pistol stop forward left up and make it not root motion in place. And let's test this one. And it actually works in all directions pretty well. So I could stay with this one, only this one, without the need of any other stop animations. And let's test it for 2 players. Play as client on dedicated server, run it, and let's quickly compare them. So now stop looks pretty decent. Stop, 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 start, now walk cycle, start, walk cycle, start, walk cycle, back, walk cycle, stop. Okay, let's try angles. Okay, those 40 degrees angles, they don't look that good when they are starting. But stop animations is fine. So you could even drop the start animation but still use the stop animation, because you can have just one direction good looking stop animation and it makes world of a difference. This is basically what we did with our crouching. But if we want start and stop cycles, you can have them relatively easy and fast, and you guys just tweak those blends. You tweak those start positions, those play rates, and you know at what point of animation they should stop or not. Let's say if we change it to 0.8, that will completely change the behavior of our animations. Let's say here as well. And now if we go into 1, the blends will be a lot faster. Even though the blend times are the same, but they trigger faster. So overall, this is a very simple solution to adding more fidelity into your animation system. Thank you for listening.